How did you make your nasty teacher regret their actions? Ms. Harris was the worst teacher I ever had. She loved making kids feel stupid for asking questions. Every single day, she'd find someone to humiliate in front of the whole class. If you got an answer wrong, she'd roll her eyes and say things like, "Really? That's your best guess?" She'd call us lazy, tell us we weren't paying attention, and once even told this kid, Jake, that he'd probably end up flipping burgers his whole life. I was pretty quiet in her class, kept my head down, tried not to draw attention. But one day, she picked on me for mispronouncing bourgeoisie during a reading assignment. She made me say it over and over while the whole class watched. Bourgeoisie, Ethan. It's French. Maybe spend less time playing video games and more time reading actual books. Everyone was staring at me. I felt my face turn bright red. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I decided I was done being embarrassed by her. The next day, I brought my phone to class and hid it in my pencil case with the camera pointing out. I started recording every single class period. At first, I wasn't sure what I'd do with the videos, but I kept collecting them anyway. Ms. Harris got worse every week. She'd grade our tests and hand them back by calling out our scores. Emma, 62. Maybe try studying next time. David, 45. Disappointing as usual. She never taught us anything properly either. She'd just write notes on the board and tell us to copy them down, then get mad when we didn't understand the material. The breaking point came when she went after this shy girl named Sophie. Sophie was really smart but had anxiety about speaking in class. Ms. Harris called on her to answer a question about World War II, and Sophie froze up. She started stuttering and couldn't get the words out. Instead of being patient, Ms. Harris cut her off. "Sophie, this is basic history. If you can't handle simple questions, you'll never amount to anything in life. You're just too slow for the real world." Sophie started crying right there in class. Ms. Harris didn't even care. She just moved on to the next student like nothing happened. I was furious. That night, I took all my recordings and made a compilation of Ms. Harris's worst moments. Every insult, every cruel comment, every time she called a student lazy or stupid. I had hours of footage. Then I reached out to Sophie's parents through Facebook and sent them the video of what happened to their daughter. Sophie's mom called me the next day, completely shocked. She had no idea how bad Ms. Harris was treating students. She said Sophie had been coming home upset every day but never explained why. Sophie's parents contacted other families in our class, and soon I had a whole network of angry parents wanting evidence. Other students started recording too. We discovered Ms. Harris wasn't just mean, she was a terrible teacher. She'd skip entire lessons, give random grades without explanation, and refuse to help students who asked for clarification. She once gave a kid detention for asking her to repeat something she'd said too quietly. When we had enough evidence, my parents and I arranged a meeting with Principal Johnson. We brought a flash drive with dozens of recordings spanning 3 months. The principal tried to defend Ms. Harris at first, saying she was just a strict teacher who wanted to motivate students. Then we played the recordings. You could see his face change as he heard Ms. Harris tell a student they were hopeless, call another kid pathetic, and mock Sophie for her anxiety. The worst part was when we played the recording of her telling Jake he'd never be successful because he was intellectually lazy. The principal's mouth actually dropped open. "I had no idea," he kept saying. "This is completely unacceptable." Ms. Harris got called into the office the next day. The school board made her write a public apology letter that got sent home to every family. She had to apologize specifically to Sophie and Jake by name. She also got put on probation for the rest of the year and had to attend anger management classes. She didn't get her contract renewed for the next year.